Zamet, aka Diz. This is the best Star Wars show in the galaxy far, far away. Wait a minute, we're right here. So let's keep rocking.
The Force will be with you, always.
Hey, and my name's David Zamet, aka Diz, and this is The Force Always. This time in the Star Wars news, in the last week we saw the 2016 MTV Movie Awards, and Daisy Ridley won the Best Breakthrough, and The Force Awakens won the Best Movie. That was at the MTV Movie Awards 2016, and that's congratulations. And to more news, C-3PO has now finally been revealed why he had the red arm in The Force Awakens. It's been revealed in a comic book of C-3PO in the last week. Without giving any spoilers, you'll need to check that comic book out, but it's a story of integrity rather than treating C-3PO as a spoof, and you'll be pleasantly surprised how good the story is. To more news, in the last week, that's probably over a week ago now, that the Star Wars Episode 7 Force Awakens Blu-ray and DVDs were released. In Australia, it was 1 week late, but it finally got here. And also we saw the Rogue One trailer being released. So, what does that mean? Well, Rogue One is going to be the journey for a Star Wars fan in the next 6 months to continuously let their Star Wars partial fans and normal regular moviegoers to describe what the movie is all about. Is it Episode 8? Is it Episode 9? What is it? Well, it's a Star Wars story. That's all it is. It's an in-between story. It's not an actual episode, and it's set between Episode 3 and Episode 4, just to give you a head start. Anyway, that was the Star Wars news for this time. Okay, this is the views for this time. Creative ideas, I call them. It's not about predictions. It's actually about giving a creative idea to what is in motion or could be in motion. And seeing the Rogue One trailer triggered my mind in 2 ways. One was with the good side and one was with the bad side. Well, I assume it's the good and bad, from what I can tell in the trailer that we saw in the last week of Rogue One. The first part is Jyn Erso, the female lead in Rogue One. I would love to see her be Rey's mum, Rey from The Force Awakens Episode 7. I'd love her to be the mum, but where there's a mum, there's got to be a dad. And a great fit for a dad would be Biggs. Biggs gets mentioned and seen in a special edition of Episode 4 as Luke Skywalker's childhood friend. If Biggs and Jyn Erso got together, had the child Rey, it would connect the story and make a lot of sense. It's getting a little bit too much online that Jyn Erso could be Rey's mum, but I think it would be a great idea. The other part of my creative idea, seeing the Rogue One trailer, was the part with the evil segment we saw. It was a hooded character walking up to a Bacta tank with 2 red Royal Guards. It would be great that this hooded character, in a black hood that is, be Maul. Not Darth Maul, because at this stage Darth Maul dropped his name Darth and now is known as Maul, but it's Darth Maul who I'm talking about. If it was Maul walking up to the Bacta tank, it would be great. Now, who would be in the Bacta tank? I think it would be great to make sense to Maul being there as Darth Plagueis in the Bacta tank, or he could be known as Plagueis. These 2 individuals have been sold out by Emperor Palpatine before. For Maul, it would be revenge, and for Plagueis, it would be a great comeback, and it would give connection and sense to the story of Star Wars as we know now. And for back then, that back then is Rogue One, because that's before Episode 4. Now is, leading up to Episode 8, and it will give much more integrity to the evil side of Star Wars. So that's my creative idea, having Maul, Plagueis, Jyn Erso and Biggs as possibilities in a storyline. Okay, in the last week, the Star Wars Episode 7 Force Awakens Blu-ray and DVD has been released, and my overall rating is 7.5 out of 10. How I got to that was I got the steelbook version. It was great. Packaging, fantastic. In fact, that was a 10 out of 10 for the packaging. It was no written words on it. It was just a picture of Kylo Ren and even Captain Phasma on the other side. It was just very simple but very straight to the point, clear, very just nice to have. The features in the Blu-ray were good, but not great. It just needed more detail on what they were talking about and more detail in other features, including a director's commentary, which is to me a standard in any digital format of movie. It should be there. It lacked that, but it was still good and enjoyable to see the features that they had. The actual movie itself has not been changed, even from the beginning, from the title coming in. It's all the same, and so that, still stands to be great. So the overall rating, as I said, 7.5 out of 10 for the Star Wars Episode 7 Force Awakens Blu-ray. Here's my review for the Rogue One teaser trailer. It was great, and it was subtle, so it was not like overly explosive, which was good. I didn't really get that Saving Private Ryan feel until a couple of shots, which were with the AT-AT walkers and even Jyn Erso being in some sort of vehicle heading somewhere. It didn't give me that Saving Private Ryan feel, but it did give me a genuine replica to where it's headed, which is Episode 4, A New Hope. I mean, some of the actors and actresses and the scenes were precise. It was amazing. Monta was amazing. The rebel base inside was amazing. So, look, I give the actual Rogue One trailer 7.5 out of 10, as it was good entry to what we're going to see, and I'm wishing that they won't reveal Darth Vader until the very end. It was good that he was not there. So that's my review for the Rogue One trailer. Okay, so now we've got an interview, which I'm going to be holding a lot of interviews on everyday people. Now, the first interview that I have, his name's Adrian. He works in the vicinity where I work. He's a Star Trek fan, and I thought it would be interesting to see what a Star Trek fan thought of The Force Awakens and the whole Star Wars thing. So here's Adrian with his view of Star Wars and The Force Awakens. Okay, this is Adrian. He's a Star Trek fan, and I'm going to ask him today, as a Star Trek fan, what do you think of Star Wars now?
Look, I've watched all of the Star Wars recently, David, and thanks to you, no less, for lending me all of that stuff. However, I enjoy the new movie. However, I am definitely still a Star Trek person, simply because I think the Star Trek franchise has a lot more integrity about it. I think it's a lot more, the plot lines are a lot clearer, and for that reason I just find the movies and also the TV series far more enjoyable for that reason alone.
Okay, any more elaboration?
Look, I just think that the sets on Star Trek are far more, I think it's more realistic. I think it's more what it would be like in space. So I just associate space with Star Trek. And because of that reason, I've just always associated with that franchise a lot more than Star Wars. I think they're just polar opposites. I can appreciate why people like Star Wars, but I just think the plot lines are too complicated. I think the prequels also are far too complicated, and I think you can't just watch an episode of Star Wars without watching all of Star Wars. I just think it's one of those things where Star Trek, you can pretty much watch all the movies and certainly the TV series as individual entities.
Well, okay, and thanks, Adrian.
Thank you. Thanks for the time, and may the Force be with you.
And may the Force be with you.
Yeah. Cheers.
Okay, thanks for watching The Force Awakens. Until next time, which is usually every couple of weeks at this point, keep rocking.
The Force will be with you, always.